It took 90 bloody days to sell, but there's a silver lining in the clouds. So selling a property these days taking longer for sellers and agents. Let's talk about why. Michael Silich.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It was a bit of stress behind the scenes getting set up this morning, but we made it.
Really? Yes. Very excited. Very excited to join.
How's your weekend in the country? You got wedding photos, mate?
Yes, getting some engagement photos done, so that was very exciting, and back in the big smoke today.
This is officially the start of your wedding photography and stuff preparation, everything now for you. Excited?
I know, it's very full on. There's lots of stuff you don't realize that you have to do. So just trying to make sure we tick all the boxes and get everything done that we need to do before.
As well as being a diplomat.
Exactly. But it is fun, I must say. It's very enjoyable.
Once in a lifetime.
What about you? You had a good weekend?
Yep, nice and relaxing. The weather held off for us all. Did a nice big walk. Went to Balmain on the weekend.
How was that?
Unbelievable. I haven't been there for a long time, and just had a little coffee, had a bit of a lunch there, went for a bit of a walk. Cool place. Bit of history.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Old. Now this morning we with bit of a curly topic, guys and girls, and not a topic a lot of agents like to be talking about because properties are taking a long time to sell. We're going to use an example today of 8 at 109 Oaks Avenue, the tale of the sale of that particular property. Now, it was on the market for almost 95, 98 days, I dare to say almost 100 days.
Yes.
And in this marketplace, it's really unusual because agents are not reporting sales prices. Agents are not reporting how quick stuff was sold anymore. So it used to be record prices. Here's the price. It used to be record time. That's how quick it sold first weekend. But days on market now in the market, on average, in the marketplace is getting closer to 2 months than 1 month now, and it doesn't need to be. But we'll talk about that today. Let's open up 8 at 109 Oaks Avenue, Michael, and talk about who bought that property and how that worked out for everyone.
So that particular one, so Mark was heading that particular campaign, and as he said, we've been on the market for quite a long time. This particular gentleman that had actually bought the property, he lives in Dubai. So one of the rarer times where, and it does happen, actually more often than you might think, where a gentleman that lives or lady that lives overseas buys a property sight unseen. Had someone to visit the property on their behalf, sent them videos, did it all digitally, and they actually bought it without even coming into the country. So a bit of a unique one there. What we found was, and even with this gentleman as well, from when he, I guess, first started talking to us about the property to the day of exchange was still a month, which once again, probably a lot of agents wouldn't normally sort of report that there, where they try to make it look all the glitz and glamour, where sometimes these sales, they do go through quickly. Sometimes it is a lengthy conversation that takes place over quite a period of time.
Now, why is it taking this long to get properties sold? Like, does it have to be that amount of period of time? Like, why is this in the marketplace? Because the days on market, so that's from when a property first gets advertised and into the marketplace, open for inspection, to when it actually gets sold and a sold sticker goes on the board. It used to be sitting around 14 days to get a property sell in the real estate market, but today's real estate market that's blown out to 3 times more than that on average in the industry. Why is that happening?
I would say the biggest thing's price. So the bottom line is when the market was super hot, things were flying out the door, and owners' expectations of price was generally being well and truly exceeded because the market was so hot. Now, obviously, we're in a different market condition here, and with owners' expectations, maybe for some of them, where it used to be previously when the market was hot, and then the market doesn't align with those expectations, we sit on the market longer. There's a lot of other factors as well, but I think that'd probably be one of the biggest ones.
So why doesn't an owner just get that price right when they hit the market?
Human nature. I've never met an owner that doesn't want to get as much money as what they can get for their property. And I've never met a buyer that doesn't want to pay bottom dollar for a property. And that gap between both of them at the moment is much, much wider than it used to be. So for an owner, they want to test it and try it and see obviously how much they can get. And sometimes that's obviously sitting above where the market value is. And
for an owner to have their property on the market 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, 48 days, 72 days, does it cost an owner any more?
In a market like this, when it's moving backwards, it can. So, and some owners like to go through that discovery process and make sure, okay, when we do sell, we've tested it, we've got every dollar we can out of the market. Sometimes that can actually be the thing that ends up hurting them the most. When we find that, especially in the downturn market, the price you're going to get on maybe week 1, week 2 is going to be a much higher price you're going to get on week 3, week 4, week 5.
So there's a bit of positive energy right at the beginning of that campaign that owners can tap into that sometimes falls off as well.
And as you know, most of the time the best offers come first. But it's always
hardest.
Michael,
there's no actual cost to them for advertising, or as in if it sells within 14 days or 21 days, it costs the same amount of money, doesn't it?
Correct. The advertising cost is set. It's more about making sure that you've maximised that price out of the market, and it doesn't mean time on the market. A big thing that owners also seem to forget sometimes is it's not how long you've been on the market, it's how long that buyer's been in the market. And most of the times, the buyers that come through the door, your first, let's say, week or 2 of the campaign, they're the hottest buyers that have been out looking for the longest period of time, and they're ready to go. They know what's all around the corner. They know pretty much everything about about the market prior to even walking in. So they're the ones that know, okay, great, this is roughly where it needs to be, and those offers tend to be the most genuine.
Yeah, interesting. And something off the cuff I've been saying to buyers is buyers are a bit clever now and saying, look, we'll wait for the prices to come down. So say they're buying something for $1 million, they'll say, look, we're going to wait till it gets to 950. If it gets to 950 in 3 or 6 months' time, I'm saying to them, will you get that loan for 950? Will you still qualify for that loan for 950? So it's not all roses, and you may be thinking as a buyer, hey, I'm going to be an opportunist and I'm going to get in and wait for that price to come 50 grand, but you simply may not even qualify for that same loan. Your approval may expire by the time you're actually ready. So it's an interesting time, but I still don't understand, and I don't think we've actually I've illustrated why would an owner, if need that 45 days or those 60 days, or in this case 90 days, why would an owner need that long to realise where market value is to adjust to meet the market?
So for an owner, sorry if you can repeat the question. Sorry, I just had someone there with me just before. Just at the front.
Oh, did you in the office?
Yeah, no, just a client out the front there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, could you repeat the last question? Apologies.
Yep. So why would an owner actually need those 90 days, or 60 days to sell a property? Simply, why wouldn't you, if you've got 3 agents telling you the price, and you, or even a little bit above that price, why would it still take you 90 days or 60 days? Why can't you just put that correct price on it and just sell it within 14 days of the correct pricing of the property?
Because sometimes it's as part of it, it's the discovery process. So sometimes that exact price, it takes that time to have the buyers coming through, giving you that feedback to find what it is, especially in this market now where it is very patchy, and it's not a correct formula where we know it's going to be this price when we launch to market. sometimes we do need to go through, find that discovery process, and then line up with what that price is going to be. Sometimes it can take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. But because of obviously the conditions that we're in now, that's the reason why it seems to be stretching out much, much more versus obviously previously when we were selling in 14 days. When you start with a particular price, it didn't matter as much because it was well and truly exceeding it straight away. And that's the reason why I was able to move so quickly.
Yeah, it's all. I think also sometimes with my one that we're talking about this morning on Oaks Avenue, the 8 at 109. It was not only that journey of the discovery journey of pricing on their place wasn't only quarantined to the sale of their place. Yeah. It also reached over to what they could buy for their money, and it also reached over to how much they could borrow.
Yeah.
So the owners didn't want to release that asset until they knew they had their hands on the potential of another asset, i.e. a family home, and until they knew they had that financing in place. And fortunately, because it's not a violent market anymore, they could actually pace it and take their time. And allow me to give you an example on that. Some of the dialogue that I have with clients that are selling 2-bedroom units, the dialogue goes like this: my 2-bedroom unit was worth $1 million. Now it's worth 900,000, right? And they're gutted. And then I'm saying the $2 million house that you're intending to buy is now 1.6.
Yeah.
And they're going, really? You're going, yeah. You can buy stuff. So when we started this journey, you could probably buy a house for 1.92 million. Now you can buy for that 1.6 to 1.7. You can get into a house. So your changeover. So, and then a lot of the owners need that adjustment in time to actually go out and say, shit, you know what, you're right. And then let's just re-secure that bank finance, make sure that's okay. Now let's do a deal. So it can take an extra couple of weeks for an owner to go out, because it's not just opening up a realestate.com or a newspaper and going, oh, okay, the prices are that much. Agents are disguising sales prices.
It's true. Very much so. It's very, very true, actually. And that whole timeline's just being blown out, exactly like what you said there, in terms of owners trying to get finance, owners looking to see what they can buy. And it's also, and I think Lisa put in that comment before, it is that discovery process, because a lot of times as well, owners are probably thinking, oh, but the houses are this much. And then they haven't actually gone out and found out, hey, in this market now, they're actually selling for X amount lower. And it is as part of that, because I guess we do it every day. So we think, of course it is selling for this price now. But what a lot of people don't realize is when you're not doing it every single day, you don't know, you don't see it. And to go through and get in tune with the market, it takes time. It's not something, like you said, you can just open up the newspaper or realestate.com and all of a sudden you're in line with the market. It's that discovery process to find out.
Yeah. And also, if you are searching for a sales price, like Lisa has said, talk to us, because we can often discover sales prices quite easily of what stuff sold for. Even when it has price not disclosed, we can still find what it's sold for. Yeah. So Michael, before we go out, lessons, what's in summary, lessons for today? Today was, it took 90 days to bloody sell, but so we've talked about 8 at 109 Oaks Avenue, taking a little bit longer. The owner ended up getting a good price. The owner ended up seeing that there's better value out there to buy, and owners are taking longer to meet the market, because they're simply trying to discover if they can get that higher price. Anything else I've missed?
No. It's an interesting time, and it's good to voice it as well so people can see, because I think a lot of owners are going through this at the moment as well. And to know that you're not going through it alone, it is common that everyone is going through that same journey.
Should you switch agents?
Depends if your agent's doing everything they can. So if we're happy to chat to you about it as well. If your agent is going through absolutely everything and it's taking time, work with it. But if a lot of agents are just sitting going, oh, the market's slow, we'll just sit and wait, then I reckon it's worth having a conversation.
Another thing is never giving up. And I think sometimes agents agree for owners not to have open for inspections any longer. They agree that the owner's not going to get that price and to give up and to shut down the campaign. And that one in Oaks Avenue that we're talking about, the amount of conversations that I said to the owner where I was selling hope and said, let's keep going, we can do this. It's all relative. You're buying for better. We got there in the end. So I think you can get seller fatigue.
Yeah, 100%. And it's tough, and that's why you need that agent to keep bringing the energy.
And you need that good energy from the agent to keep going. And your agent needs to, if you are doing the same thing and expecting a different result, that's insanity, absolute insanity. So the agent's got to keep moving, keep rolling with the punches, keep it fresh, keep it happening. Make sure you're not fatigued. Make sure they're not fatigued. And if you want to try another real estate agent because you're not getting that, don't be shy. Do it.
Make sure they're not doing the exact same things. Make sure they're trying
100%. 100%. What's Lisa got to say?
Is your agent working hard for you? Sundays, reporting, social media, refresh the marketing campaign, updating comparables, reporting daily. Yeah, it's very true what Lisa just said then in terms of all the things, and this is stuff that we all do for our owners, but it is definitely well over the top from what the standard agent may do. You really, especially in this market as well, you got to push yourself. You got to make sure exactly what Lisa said there. You got to cover all those different avenues to give yourself the best possible chance of getting sold.
Massive.
Brilliant.
Buddy, thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Anything else we forgot to mention?
No, pretty much covered it all.
Take care. See you, legend.
Thanks
everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.